Hey y'all, this is Deep Track Zach, and I am back today to do a contest entry. And this entry is for the YouTube channel TKR VideoCentral. That's TC's channel. If you haven't heard of him by now, he's got a really neat channel with real good production value, and he's kind of into obscuria, and that's kind of the theme of this contest. He wants us to show 10 records that you think that nobody else in the vinyl community owns, which I grabbed 10 real quick that I don't think anybody owns. And that's based on just, some of it's just how old some of it is. And a lot of it's based on the Discogs statistics of people that own it and people that want the item. So I'm going to start in reverse chronological order, start with the newest thing, which is this copy of Marvin Gaye's legendary album, What's Going On? And you're probably thinking to yourself, there's plenty of people that own that. It's such a popular album and there's so many reissues. But what's neat about this, I found this in an antique store several years ago, and it was priced fine. I mean, good price. And initially I thought it was a US pressing, but it is a 1971 Jamaican press. And it's really rare. The statistics on Discogs are that 822 people want this item and 14 people own it. So yeah, that's, other than somebody writing their initials at one time on the front. Beautiful copy. It's got the same gatefold as the American copy. The jacket might have even been made in the US, but it is a Jamaican Tamla Motown. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure that nobody else that's in the vinyl community that does these videos owns that. Tell me if you do. I'd like to know somebody else that's come across one. All right, the second thing, this is another Bob Marley release that I also found in an antique store 5 or 6 years ago. And that's his 1970 album, Soul Rebels, Bob Marley and the Wailers. And there's also, I think, been reissues of this, but this is an original Jamaican press from 1970. And it's a great copy. I think I've shown it on a video before. The vinyl's a little bit pitted, which is common for Jamaican pressings from back in the day. They didn't have the best quality control at their pressing plants, but yeah, that's one I was just amazed that I found in an antique store for, it was below $10, I think, somewhere between $5 and $10. So, I snatched that one up really quick. And a little more people own this on Discogs. It says that 230 people own it and 1,500 people want it. Somewhere around 1,500, I think. So it's pretty rare. Bob Marley and the Wailers, Soul Rebels, 1970. All right, now we're going to move on from Marley. This is something I found at an estate sale. The minute I saw it, I said, man, that's different. That's got to be something unique. I didn't look it up at the time, but this is a private press by a duo named the Kaplan Brothers. I think they were kind of a lounge act from up north. This was released on their own record label, Cap Records in Chicago. But yeah, and it's signed by them, which makes it a little extra rare. But this is some neat music. Like I said, they're kind of a lounge act, but it's got some country elements, some rock, psychedelia, some Latin sounds. It's just really, really neat record. Check it out on YouTube if you've never heard of it, which most people haven't, I'm sure. This is from 1968. And like I said, it's on Cap Records, which is Kaplan Record Productions. And only 21 people own this on Discogs and 143 on the want list. There they are on the back. They're kind of cheesy, silly photo session. There's a few covers on this and some originals written by the Kaplan Brothers. Running Scared. There's Green Grass of Home. Malaguena Solarosa. That's a good one. Taste of Honey. Gentle on My Mind, the John Hartford song. Gone. That's a Kaplan Brothers original, and they say it on here. Yellow Bird. Habanagila. But yeah, that's a neat one. Kaplan Brothers, 1968. All right, I meant to show this one first because it was the newest. I'm not positive on the date, but from looking at some other releases on this record label, I think it's from the late 70s, maybe 78 or so. And this is one I found in a garage sale near the county I grew up in, but county I grew up in is Rockdale County, Georgia, and this is Rockdale County Blues by Ronnie Thomas. I think I made the entry to this on Discogs 4 or 5 years ago, and it only shows one person owning this, which is me, and one person has it on their want list. And this is kind of a bluesy country, low quality production. Good song though. And I also made a YouTube video of this several years ago, if you want to check it out. But it's Ronnie Thomas, Rockdale County Blues. And the B-side is Darling Don't Leave Me. I think he wrote both of these songs. No, Rockdale County Blues was written by Andy Thomas. And Darling Don't Leave Me was written by Ronnie Thomas. So yeah, it's on Master W Records, which I think that label is out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, which is about 30 miles from where I grew up. But yeah, there you go. Ronnie Thomas, Rockdale County Blues from the late 70s. All right. Oh, this one's special. I found this at an estate sale about a year ago. And I just bought a box full of 45s that were kind of ragged and dirty, but I saw a few that I wanted, so I didn't see this initially. I saw it when I got home. This is another Georgia related release, and this is the Spontaneous Generation 45 from 1968, and this is a psych rock masterpiece right here. Up in My Mind. That was an original song by the Spontaneous Generation. And this is scarce too. 349 people have it on their want list on Discogs, and 12 people own it. And it goes for a pretty penny when it comes up for auction. And the B-side is a terrific cover of the Who song Pictures of Lily. I also made a YouTube video of this, if you want to check that out. Kind of cleaned up the audio and boosted some stuff on it. Made it sounds really good, I think. Made a nice slideshow of it, pictures of the band and stuff. But it's on Fever Records, which was out of Atlanta. And it was run by Mylon Lefevre in the late 60s, which he was a young man at the time before he started making his rock albums and his Christian rock albums. But his family had a gospel record label here in Atlanta called Lefevre Records. So he just shortened it to Fever Records. And there's only a few releases. It was a short-lived record label. But yeah, that's Spontaneous Generation, Up in My Mind. All right, which one we got next? All right, I put these two together. These are both Jimi Hendrix related things that I found out in the wild, which they're 45 records that Jimi Hendrix is a session musician on, and you can instantly tell his guitar licks. The first one is Frank Howard and the Commanders, I'm So Glad, and I'm Sorry for You. This thing is in beautiful condition. I found it in an antique store for $2, I think, which was the going price for all their 45s. So they didn't know what they had. But yeah, Frank Howard and the Commanders, Jimi Hendrix, his own guitar. This is from 1965, and 75 people have it on their want list, and 5 people own it. So I'm pretty sure nobody else will have this that sees this video. All right, this was kind of a twofer, like I said. I put 2 Jimi Hendrix together. This one I found in the same antique store about a month later, and that's the Isley Brothers 1964 release, Testify. Testify Part 1 and Part 2 on the back. And Jimi Hendrix is wailing on the electric guitar breaks on this song. You can instantly identify him. But yeah, it's real early Isley Brothers, and this is really a soulful rockin' tune by them. And this is owned by 169 people. No, it's 169 people have it on their want list, and 44 people own it. Sorry about that. So it's a little more common than the last Hendrix I showed, Billy Howard. Still, great song and a pretty rare release. All right, the next one. This is from 1961. And I might have showed this on a previous VC video, but it's Harold Jackson and the Jackson Brothers, the Freedom Riders, on Edsel Records in 1961. And this was a song inspired by the Freedom Riders, the civil rights activists that rode down to, I think it was Alabama, to protest discrimination and civil rights abuses down there at the time. And like I said, this is from 1961, and 385 people have it on their want list, and 29 people own it. And this is another one that goes for hundreds of dollars when it comes up for auction. And boy, I found this one at a garage sale also about 6 years ago, I believe. And it's in VG Plus, bordering on near mint condition. Freedom Riders, awesome song, soulful, rockin'. It's got train sounds in the background, train whistles. It's awesome. Check it out if you haven't heard it. The B-side's another good song, Travelin', by Harold Jackson and the Jackson Brothers. All right, now we're gonna get to the real old stuff. I got 3 records left. And the oldest one's gonna be last, probably the most rare. This one I've showed a couple of times on videos. And this was a garage sale find. I bought a stack of 78s. I saw one blues record on the top of the stack, some good country stuff, Louis Armstrong, I think. So I just bought the whole stack. Asked the woman what she wanted for the whole stack. It was a fair price. So I brought them home, and later that night I was going through the stack. I'd say about a third of them were cracked, of the 78s, because somebody had them stacked for so long in a big pile. But I got about 3/4 of the way down, and I saw this Blind Willie McTell, Drive Away Blues, and the B-side, Love Changing Blues. This is from 1929. and I made the Discogs entry. There wasn't even an entry on Discogs, so I took a couple of pictures and loaded the info, and that was 5 years ago, I guess. I'm just most of this stuff seems like it came in fast and hard 5 or 6 years ago, but since then 63 people have put it on their want list, and one owns it, and that is me. So yeah, I'm proud to own this Georgia Boy Blind Willie McTell Blues 78. All right, the next one, this is another one I found at that yard sale that was in the stack of 78s, and it's a little older than Blind Willie McTell, and it's from 1927, and it's Texas Alexander Section Gang Blues and Levy Camp Moan Blues on OK Records from 1927. These are two great songs. It's rumored that Texas Alexander was the cousin of Lightning Hopkins. That's what it says on his biography. It was never really confirmed, but it's hard to confirm some things back then. But yeah, he was, as you can tell by his name, Texas Alexander. I think he was from around Dallas, Texas area, East Texas. Oh yeah. Levy Camp Moan Blues and Section Gang Blues, 1927. And I think I put this one on Discogs too at the same time, of the Blind Willie McTell. And since then, 31 people put it on their want list and 2 people own it. One of them being me. All right, here's the last one. And this is the oldest. Maybe not the most rare, but it is the oldest. And this is another amazing garage sale find. I stopped on a Saturday morning on my way to work at a garage sale, and I was about to walk away. I didn't see any records, and the woman asked me what I was looking for, and I said, looking for some old records. And she said, hold on a second, I think I have some. And she walked to the back of her garage and came walking back with a dirty old 5-gallon bucket. And the 5-gallon bucket was full of dirty old 78s that looked like they had been there in that bucket for 40, 50, 60 years. And a lot of them were, as you can imagine, just beat up beyond recognition. A lot of them were cracked. I'd say half or more were cracked. But toward the bottom of that bucket, I found this record by the Dixieland Jazz Band. And it is actually the first jazz record ever pressed. And the song on the A side is Dixieland Jazz Band One Step. And the B side is Livery Stable Blues by the original Dixieland Jazz Band. And if you don't know, in the infancy of jazz, at first they called it jazz music. I'm not sure where jazz came from, J-A-S-S. And around the clubs of New Orleans, where they put up posters telling of the acts and the coming concerts, vandals or who knows who would come around and scratch off the J in jazz, which leaves, you know what, ass. So they changed the term jazz to jazz, and the rest is history. But yeah, this is the first jazz record ever pressed in 1917. And I found it at the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket at a garage sale. You never know what you're gonna find, even these days with everybody looking. And 116 people have this on their want list, and 40 people own it. Yeah. There you go. Those are my obscurities and 10 records that I don't think anybody in the VC owns. So, hey, you might surprise me if you do own one of these. Let me know in the comments. And once again, thank you, TC, for having this contest. It really interested me, and this contest was a push to 200 subs for TC at TKR VideoCentral, but he's doubled that now. I think there's been a lot of responses in the VC. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.